Yep, this weekend we're going to take a look at what you need to look out for in 2013.
Dollar bills, shake it and don't stop, say oh.
The nice thing about the auto market is that new launches are very rarely surprises. New cars are displayed in auto shows and videos months, sometimes even years before they launch. So we always mostly know what's coming to us and from us to you. The trend that we saw start at the Auto Expo in 2012, no real activity in the small hatch section of the car market, continues into 2013 as well, with most of the focus moving up the food chain, more specifically to a segment that has the Indian car buyer the most excited. We're talking about the mini SUV and the mini MPV. This year saw Renault launch the anticipated Duster and Maruti and Nissan launch the Ertiga and Avalia respectively. And next year we're going to see launch the Ford EcoSport, perhaps the biggest star of the Auto Expo 2012. It was the car that got the most visitors, and it's apparent why. The Ford EcoSport is gorgeous, and the production model already on sale in South America is almost the same as the concept that was on display at the Expo. Which means you've got the same aggro grille, high bonnet, and here's the best part. This car looks like a proper SUV even though it's less than 4 meters long. The interiors and cabin carry the same funky feel as the outside, and then there's that 1-liter turbocharged engine that's got everyone talking. 1 liter seems pint-sized, but it is expected to put out as much power as a 1.6-liter engine, but with the mileage of an Alto. You've also got the 1.5-liter diesel that's currently working in the Fiesta, and since it's a Ford, it's going to be super fun to drive, and we honestly can't wait. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Since this is a mini sub-4-meter SUV, the EcoSport is expected to be quite cheap. Expect a price of between 7 to 9 lakh rupees and expect the car in mid-2013. When there is an auto trend in India, if it's not being led by Maruti, Maruti isn't far behind. And if Ford has the EcoSport, Maruti has a concept called the XA Alpha, which, as reports indicate, is on its way to production. Based on the Swift platform, Maruti is looking to redesign Mini Butch with plenty of cladding down the front, a really aggro grille, and the overwrought wheel arches make this car look a bit like a pit bull. It's pretty apparent that the Alpha will come with Maruti's current K-Series petrol and the 1.3-liter diesel engines. This car too is less than 4 meters long, which will put it in the same price bracket as the competition from Ford. And knowing Maruti, the XA is going to be very attractively priced. Fun times are ahead. Using hatch platforms to convert them into small yet rugged SUVs seems to be the trend this year, and Volkswagen is jumping on with something called the Cross Polo. We have a few images and video of the concept, and it looks like a regular Polo about to go on a steroid-fueled rampage. So you've got huge wheels and plenty of cladding, but it's still to be seen if this car will have a larger boot. Engine options could potentially include a 1.2-liter TSI petrol and a made-for-India 1.5-liter diesel. Expect this car late next year. Now, sedans are another area where we are seeing a fair amount of action, and the biggest buzz is from the Honda Brio sedan, which they're calling the Amaze. The first pictures are out already, and unlike a few other hatchback to sedan transformations, the Amaze looks pretty, well, amazing. What's even more amazing is that this car will feature Honda's first diesel engine, a 1.5-liter unit designed specifically for the Indian market. You're also going to get this car with the existing 1.2-liter petrol, and since the Amaze is going to be under 4 meters, expect pricing to be close to the primary competition, the Swift Desire. The Amaze should hit the markets in the first half of 2013. GM too has trained its sights on the success of the Maruti Dzire. After the launch of the new Yuva in November, the sale mid-size sedan is due by June 2013. In the same category as the Dzire sedan, the Sail does have a slightly larger cabin, and engines up for choice will be a 1.3-litre diesel and a 1.2-litre petrol. What we like about the upcoming sale is the funky styling and the bright airy cabin. And if priced right, this car could make a serious dent in Fortress desire. Mini SUVs will trend in 2013. We've already discussed that, but that's only half the story. Also on the front burners of many automakers are mini SUVs. After Maruti's very successful leap into the mini SUV market with the Ertiga, Hyundai, GM, Force Motors, Ashok Leyland are all ready to roll out products of their own. First up, the Hyundai MPV. Now they're calling it the Hyundai MPV because that's all it is right now, a concept at the Expo last year called the Hexa Space. And though it did have the expensive design excesses you do see on many concepts, a lot of the styling cues could make it to the production variant. The Hexa sits on a 2-meter wheelbase, but it's yet to be seen if it's due for tax breaks. Engines Hyundai has plenty of. There's the 1.2-litre diesel, but most likely this car will use the 1.6-litre unit that's currently in the Verna and the Elantra. Expect this car very late in 2013. And then there's GM digging deep into its vast global roster of cars and pulling out something called the Enjoy. With a name like that, it's obviously Chinese, more specifically from its Chinese partner, the Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation. And Enjoy is a better sounding name than the original nomenclature, the Wuling CN100. Debuting at the Expo last year, the Enjoy is honestly quite ugly, but then it isn't uglier than the Tavera, which is GM's primary people mover. What's going to sell this car is going to be its price, which, if rumors are to be believed, is going to be as low as 6 to 7 lakh rupees. Accept this car sometime early next year. We're moving up the food chain now to a car that created the executive class of sedans in India, the Octavia. Though the Octavia did seem to disappear for a while, it was gone in name only, as the Laura being sold here is in fact the global Octavia. In 2013, the Octavia will make a comeback and it looks great. Based on the MQB platform, the new Octavia is far edgier than the current Laura, also longer and wider, and will be a notchback like the old Octavias. The existing engines will probably carry forward as well, so you've got the 2-litre diesel and a 1.8-litre petrol. What we wonder about is this: if Skoda does launch this car in late 2013, will it edge out the existing Laura or coexist with it? If BMW had the X1, then Mercedes has the A-Class. Quite honestly, the most exciting looking small Mercedes in a very long time. It looks great and it looks like the kind of car that would be driven by the young gun car buyer, a section of the car demographic until now cornered by BMW and Audi. The A-Class has broken away from the tall boy look that its predecessors came with and looks sporty and aggressive. And the same design confidence continues to the insides as well. Based on the MFA platform, which is front-wheel drive, the A-Class is a great handling car and will come with 2 engine options, a 1.6-litre turbo petrol and a 1.8-litre diesel, coupled to 7-speed double-clutch auto boxes. Prices too should be less than what the B-Class costs, so we're thinking about 18 to 19 lakh rupees. If Mercedes wants to get young India to drive its cars, we can't imagine a better way to do it. We were particularly underwhelmed by the Beetle that VW sells currently in the Indian market. Styling aside, what let this car down was the lackluster 2-litre petrol engine and a stupid auto box. Fortunately, the new Beetle does address some of the old Beetle shortcomings. The retro curvy styling stays, but the stance is a little more aggressive, the cabin a bit larger, and might be better to drive with a new turbocharged petrol and a 2-litre diesel. The Beetle might look like sunshine and rainbows, but then it won't come cheap. Expect the price to come close to what you're paying for a Mini Cooper, so upwards of 25 lakhs. Now, Honda's been having a lackluster 2012 and the reason is apparent. They have great cars but no diesel engines, and that's what everyone wants. That problem is going to be kinda solved by the Amaze. Honda's new CR-V has been ready to roll for a while now and is expected to be launched in January 2013. And like we said earlier, this car is not going to come with a diesel engine. However, what the new CR-V will come with is improved dynamics, a brighter, bigger cabin, and more drivability. Engines will continue from the current model, so that's a 2-litre and a 2.4-litre petrol. But what's going to change is the price. This is a complete export, so the new CR-V is about 25 lakh plus rupees. There was a time when if you were the CEO of a mid-level company in India and the office gave you a car, that car would have been a Honda Accord. It was big, powerful and came with all the prestige of the Honda badge. But that was then and this is now. And now, the Accord has been beaten from the #1 position by rivals like the Skoda Superb. And one of the primary reasons was the fact that the Accord was expensive to run. The new Accord with its lack of diesel engine does not look like it's going to remedy that situation, but if you're willing to bite the fuel bullet, what you're getting is the America spec variant with a classier redesign, a bigger, more inviting cabin and even more space. The new DI petrol engine is said to be very efficient, but faces no chance against the 1.8-litre diesel fuel sipper from Skoda.
Pas travailler, non, je ne